Men of Reddit, what do women do that they think is okay but is actually creepy? This might be a cultural thing for Latinos, but there were some weird sexual comments said by female family members to my son when he was a toddler. They would call him my boyfriend and ask for kisses in a very aggressive way. When I changed his diapers, they'd stand around and say "D key registered sign NSE pip," which roughly translates to "whose D is that?" which led me to always change his diaper in a private room. Even when told that you can do it here, it's okay, we're all family. One of my aunts even commented on how his D has grown since he was a baby. Yeah, his whole body has grown. There's no need to talk about his D specifically. Step away from my child. I guess this is all done in a cute or innocent way, but I never liked it. Maybe not creepy, but FFS stop pulling on my beard and arm hair. Like that, it is seriously uncomfortable. And pulling out a beard hair stings like duck. It's literally attached to my face. You are in my personal space, tugging my hair, and causing me a little pain. Ladies, I don't care how fun it is. Please stop or I'll make fun of your eyebrows. Not exclusively a woman thing, but my ex would screenshot our text conversations and send them to her family and friends for reaction. Like mundane conversations. Not even anything interesting. It felt like a very creepy violation of my privacy. Also, she was an idiot. Hope you see this, Laura. Pulling up the hem of your kilt to see if you're a true Scotsman. This is only really for the gay men out there, I think. But having a girl instantly label you as her gay best friend as soon as she finds out you're gay, like, itch, I don't even like you. Maintain a relationship with our mom even after the breakup. Went out with a group of guys last weekend. There were 6 of us and this random girl started hanging around us like a lost puppy and just wouldn't leave. She was attractive, but so obviously desperate for attention that none of our group of guys really cared to give her any. This girl was just looking at everyone, batting her eyes and trying to hug everyone, but the guys were just pawning her off on each other. Not sure if this is pathetic more than creepy, but if a guy did the same thing, he'd be labeled with creepy. So yeah, she was creepy to me. I honestly thought she was a hooker or something trying to sell services or summit. The way she was approaching dudes, it's not ducking normal. You know what you don't like men doing? You don't get to do that either. Failing to realize that sometimes free time needs to be me time and shouldn't automatically be she time. Man, y'all are in some unhealthy relationships. I have a friend that whenever she starts dating a guy, just lists me off thing about the dude like she's listing a resume. Never anything about the personality or sense of humor or what characteristics about them she enjoys. It's job, career, college, earnings, house. I had to tell her it was getting creepy because it just sounds like she's getting a checklist to impress people, not find a good person for her. Going to pride events, gay bars and groping the men whether they like it or not. Like duck off, creep. Disregard consent with gay male friends. You have to install this GPS tracking app on your phone so I know where you are anytime I want to check. As a gay guy, women seem to think that it's okay to touch me, in a general way, and sometimes even in a more inappropriate way. Lady, I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. Sure, we had a nice brief conversation, but don't touch me. Don't wrap your hands around my legs so you can gawk at the size of my legs. Don't squeeze my pec, or think that I want a hug despite never having met you before. I am avoiding physical contact not only to be respectful of your boundaries, but because I also have boundaries I don't want you to violate. Consent works both ways. Always. Don't touch me. I'd wager that most women wouldn't do this and wouldn't think this is okay. But my now ex-girlfriend went through my phone without asking for permission. Ask their friends to give them explicit details of the sexual encounters, especially if it's with a BF. Unwanted physical contact. Was out to dinner with a bunch of friends. Coincidentally, they were all women. And the waitress was hitting on me, which involved obvious compliments, which I don't care about, and putting her hands all over my shoulders and upper chest. We all had a laugh about it after, but I was seriously weirded out by it. And were the genders reversed, I guarantee no one would have been laughing about it. When women say things like if I were 10 years younger about underage boys, it's creepy, gives off pedo vibes, and if the genders were reversed you'd call the FBI. Making a new social media account after I block you. Asking password to social accounts or phone. When she wants to know my Reddit username. Completely unhealthy. X demanded I take down a single picture of a platonic female friend who I have known over a decade and who is happily married to a mutual friend of ours. Said picture was part of a cluster of 8 total. The other 7 pictures were just group pictures of said platonic friend and mostly other male friends. Perving on men. So many times in the workplace I have heard women say what they would like to do to a certain man. Almost drooling in public. If a man said the same comments they would be fired. Double standards on sexual harassment. IDK if it's just me, but the baby voice plus behavior really puts me off. The way girls share really personal things about guys in relation to sex. Society and the media would have you believe that guys talk about sex all the time and just objectify the women that they slept with. I don't know if maybe I'm just hanging out with the wrong people, but honestly the most you usually get out of a guy is just that they had sex with a girl. And the only time we discuss details are when you're just like trading stories. But girls tend to like immediately report on things to their friends and share details that honestly could be embarrassing or uncomfortable for the guy. It makes me really uncomfortable and creeped out to think that if I sleep with a girl I have to just accept that all of her friends are going to know every detail about the experience, size, performance, how long it lasted, how I look. It just feels like a huge breach of privacy. How has nobody mentioned this? It's definitely not most women, but it does happen sometimes. Get pissed off if you are not in the mood for sex. Like WTF you're a man. You always want to have a sex. Do you not like me anymore? No, Andrea. I was just not horny that day and yes I liked you a lot. Holy crap thanks for the gold stranger. Late to the party but I haven't seen this mentioned yet. Distributing nudes they get from guys to their friends without permission. I've caught several women doing it and they'll argue about it if asked to stop. Yet another example of it only being an issue if the genders are reversed. The admin assistant in my office tells me to smile at least once a week when I walk past her desk. Go duck yourself. Being way too open about physics life. I have never in my life heard a guy describe exactly how his GFSV looks like or how she sounds when orgasming. Honestly, hands down, women who exploit emotions of men. We may not all cry in the movie theater, but we are not incapable of experiencing deep painful emotional wounds. In general it seems to be more acceptable for women to rag on guys for our image, like our height, weight, or income. While the flip side being that men cannot criticize women without being a pig. So yeah, women who nitpick guys for superficial reasons are creepy, arrogant, and covered with more red flags than a game of Minesweeper. She makes me suck her toes to wake her up. Wife bragged to friends about our sex life. We live in a small town and now it feels like everywhere I go, I'm being giggled and smiled at. It's really violating. Glamorizing the male body at work or in other non-casual situations. I've had co-workers speculating about the size of other co-workers' genitals in front of me, talking about nude scenes of favored actors, talking about marital aids etc. If a guy was similarly casual about sex, it would be considered highly inappropriate but women seem to get away with it as innocent fun. Touching me when you're a complete stranger. I'm in really good shape and the amount of women who would touch my arms, shoulders, and chest when I'm out was too high. Always asking if I got flirted with, no matter where I go. Did anyone flirt with you? What the hell? It's flag football. Who would flirt with me at flag football? This happened like 3 times in high school. Girls call you attractive as their way of calling you ugly. You know? Like some weird sarcasm reverse psychology thing. One of those times 2 girls were walking behind me in the hallway. One taps on my shoulder so I turn around and she says she thinks you're cute, then the other girl said she wants to suck your D. I just told them I have a girlfriend because 1, I do and 2, I know what they're doing. And I walked faster. I've had this happen a few times. but I don't know if it is more common or less common. When I go to a bar for a drink on say a Friday night, I usually go with friends. I'll head to the bathroom and sometimes the bar will be crowded, so I'll have to slip through a group of people. Several times I'll get rubbed or caressed by women. Sometimes on the groin. Sometimes on the chest or shoulders. It's not wanted, nor am I signaling I want to be touched. Just saying excuse me and going past. It bothers me every time. Being hypocritical about sexism. Hear about guy hitting girl. What an asshole. Hear about girl hitting guy. Well, what did he do? Older man hitting on much younger woman. What a creep. Older woman hitting on much younger man. You get it, girl. Making small d jokes. Funny. Making fat jokes about men. Funny. Making short jokes about men. Funny. Making any jokes about a woman's appearance. Super not okay. Don't touch my hair. Just don't. I know it's long and partially dyed and you might think that's cool or unusual for a male. But please don't touch it, I get extremely uncomfortable. Telling you how you feel because you didn't do something trivial. You don't love me. You didn't call me before you went to bed. No. I ducking fell asleep because I was exhausted. Now I'm awake. Still here. Still love you. Let's not make it a thing. Social media stalking is a little crazy, especially from stuff before I met you. Touch my ass without consent. Sometimes I just be performing my respiratory responsibilities and I feel a slight touch to my butt and now I'm uncomfortable and confused because I'm too scared to turn around and find out who dared touch my precious bum. Being addicted to social media. Mostly Instagram. Like the worst one is my phone is never on quiet and anytime any notifications appears she looks at it no matter what you were talking about. And then, even if one has better manners, like having the phone on silent and can be without it for the first hour of the dinner, then dessert comes and I have to go pee. I come back. She's scrolling, commenting, posting, everything and acts like I am interested in what someone comment and spends the rest of the night with her phone in her hands. I read through most of the comments and I cannot believe I haven't found this. This has become so common in Central and Western Europe. Edit. Sorry. I meant phone on silent, not quiet. Edit 2. A lot of people asking why I think it's creepy. Because I find it very creepy that I have to compete with 2,000 followers entangled in the lowest possible form of any human relationship for attention when I am on a date. I find it sad and creepy. Tickling and getting pissed when I don't like it. Girl, I don't like getting tickled. I really hate it. I don't care that it's some way to show affection, I don't want it, and for duck's sake it's not my problem and I don't have to man up and take it. What the hell, no means no. Okay, so this is something both me and my brother had happen to us. We are both pretty young, around 20, but we were at some parties where people of all ages were around recently. At one party, we had just finished performing with our orchestra and we were still in our uniforms. Then when I was getting some beers, some random lady of over 40 said to me, "Would you like to change clothes? I want to look like I am in the orchestra." So naturally, I'm like, well, I'd rather not, but she was like, "Oh please." And she kept on trying to talk to me. On another party, some lady, also of over 40, who was really seeking attention, started to hold my brother by the waist. My brother told me he was really weirded out by her. She tried to do this multiple times, even after I lured my brother away by pretending I needed to say something to him. I don't really know if this is something a lot of middle-aged ladies do, but them acting like that really weirded me out, and they seem to do this as if it was the most normal thing in the world. Tell me that my almost 2-year-old son is so handsome and going to break hearts, be a lady killer. If I rolled up to a park and told a mom how good looking her daughter was and that all the boys are going to want her, they'd call the cops. Flirting with me, like, have some standards itch. Women invading men's personal space but then proceed to freak out when men invade theirs. Trying to isolate us from friends, especially other women, and family because they want us to focus on the relationship and prioritizing her emotional needs over everybody else in our lives. It's under the guise of wanting to develop a bond and get to know us better. But if you're paying attention, you can tell what's really going on. And also, having gone through copious amounts of domestic violence training at work, both as a requirement for employment and as part of the job since I record trainings, it is painfully obvious that this is something men do all the time to control women. Most of this thread consists of things which aren't limited by gender. Asking us if we want to buy them a drink. The last time I was out, a girl had asked me this and I felt disrespected. She was extremely attractive, but opening up a conversation by asking if I want to buy you a drink is not appreciative. It made me feel like she thought I was a buster or something. Not all of us like to spend money on random girls just for a chance to talk to them. Touch us in any way that would be uncomfortable if we did it to them. I dislike my lower back being touched by strangers. As well. Edit. A word. It's not creepy but purposely bothering me because I'm cute when I'm mad. Treating firemen in a way that you don't want to be treated, as a soulless piece of meat for sexual desire. I get why women don't like that. We don't either. Edited for clarification. Touching you as the first step in hitting on you. I've had random girls at concerts walk up and grab my ass without saying a word and wait for a response, or poke me somewhere and wink. Again without saying anything. It's not enticing, it's just awkward and creepy. Let alone it would look a lot worse if I did that, but for some reason they think it's just playful or whatever. Steal my hat on nights out. I don't know what it is about girls and hats, but every bar has a group of girls who want to steal hats and think it's cute. No. Creating a fake Instagram user with their group of friends and stalking guys through it. I'm an attractive guy. I was a bartender and served tables for quite a while. The ip women say and get away with saying is unreal. Women are just as bad as men when it comes to harassment. DADDY. I don't want to be your ducking dad. I want to be ducking your dad. Catcalling. It's as creepy and unsettling, albeit usually flattering as well, for men as it is for women. In that same vein, anything women think is creepy when done to them is probably creepy if done to men too. Keeping my ducking clothes. HMU when you're 18 to young guy models and whatnot on social media. Any guy would be torn a new asshole if he were to say that, yet it's totally acceptable from women. I dated a girl who was overly sensitive to word choice. Case in point, one Saturday morning I was out running errands. It was a beautiful day, and I texted it's going to be a great day. She called me crying, because when you say, it's going to be a great day, it puts too much pressure on me to have a great day. Now I'm crying. All I could think is what the hell. We ended up breaking up because it was a Thursday, which had become our date night, and I was going to go to her place. She started crying and broke up with me because I assumed we were going to see each other that night. Photo filters that make them look like creepy toy dolls. You break up a relationship, and her friends proceed to come after you like angry mobs for it. Those women who will go after everything in a divorce. The ones who try to leave the guy with nothing. Commenting on the expected size of someone's D, but getting offended when I say some V's look like a grenade went off.